We now begin chapter 12th of the Bhagavad Gita, that is called as the Bhakti Yoga, the devotional yoga, Bhakti Yoga. So Arjuna watch. Arjuna is now asking, Evam satat yukta ye bhaktaha tvam paryopasate ye chapya aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. So this is the classic debate between Sagun and Nirgun roop of the ultimate divinity. So Arjuna is asking, Evam satat yuktaye, those who are constantly devoted to you, bhaktaha tvam they do upasana of you non-stop, steadfastly, constantly. And then there are ye chapi, and then beyond that, aksharam avyaktam, the nirgun nirakar, the devotees that worship you in formless form, in the form where you have no murti, no image or nothing like that. Tesham ke yug. So who are better among these two kinds of devotees or practitioners that are pursuing you? Second shlok, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12. Shri Bhagavan Uvach, the reply from Bhagavan. Maya Veshya Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Paryopetaha Te Me Yukta Tama Mataha. Without a single second of delay, Bhagavan has clearly responded, Maya Veshya Mano Yemam, completely devoted to me, completely fixed on me, completely entering me literally. Nitya Yukta Upasate, those who are worshipping me every day, every second. Shraddhaya Paryopeta, with complete devotion. They are the best. They are the best devotees, according to Bhagavan. Sagun Sakar, those who worship me in Sagun Sakar form are the best. Verse 3rd, chapter 12. Ye tu aksharam anirdeshyam cha avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra agama chintyam cha kutastham achalam dhruvam. Of course, there are still others who worship me, who pursue me, who meditate on my formless form, which is imperishable, unrecognizable, not available anywhere. You cannot draw that image anywhere but those. So it's imperishable, indefinable, unmanifest, all pervading and unthinkable, unchanging, immovable, eternal. All those are the attributes of the formless divinity or Brahman. Verse 4th. Sanniyamendriya gramam sarvatra sambuddhaya te prapnuvanti mam eva sarvabhuta hiterataha. But those who are controlling their senses, those who are finding me everywhere, those who are even-minded on all sides, they are never agitated in any manner, and they are always involved in sarvabhuta hiterataha, welfare for every being in the universe. They also attain me. So Karma Yoga people and even Raj Yoga people, those who are meditating Karma Yoga, those who are doing some philanthropic work, all those are also fine. All those will also reach me. Verse 5th, chapter 12th. Klesha adhikaraha tesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gati dukkham dehavadbhir avapyate. So now clearly he's showing his preference. Bhagavan is showing his preference, who is better, who is superior. Klesha adhikaraha. Those who are focusing on my formless divinity, formless Brahman, are going to face more obstacles, more klesh, more kasht, more difficulty in obtaining me, because one who is trying to meditate on formless, he himself or herself has a body. Those who are embodied beings will find it easier to focus on an embodied being. That is a simple psychology. So Krishna Bhagavan, clearly, Yogeshwar Bhagavan, clearly is telling us that prefer a form of a divine form that has attributes, that has anthropomorphic attributes, that looks like a human being. So trouble of those whose minds are fixed on the unmanifest is greater, for the goal of the unmanifest is attained with difficulty by embodied beings. Because we are embodied, we better focus on embodied being, that is a form like Krishna or Ram or Vishnu or Shiva or Hanuman and so on. All right, verse 6th, chapter 12th. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyastya mat paraha ananye naiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. Those who renounce all actions in me, regard me as supreme, worship me, meditate on me with undistracted yoga, and then this verse completes on verse 7th, chapter 12th. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu sansara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Na chirat, immediately, without any delay. What I do? Tesham aham samudharta. I deliver them. I make sure that they attain moksha. Mrityu sansara sagara. They never come back on this cycle of rebirth, sansar, the cycle of life and death and rebirth. That cycle, they are forever free from that cycle. I make sure that they are delivered from, they are free, they are liberated from the cycle of rebirth. Maya Veshita says, those who are fixed on me, those whose thoughts have entered into me, I help them by delivering them into liberation, moksha.
8th. मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः. Keep your mind on me only. Maya eva, only. Mana adatsva, focus on me only. My buddhim nivesha. Nivesh is like investment. Just invest on me without any distractions. Keep your intellect on me. I need your intellect, Bhagavan is saying. Nivasishyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na sanshaya. Then you shall dwell in me forever. There is no doubt about that. Na sanshaya. Ata urdhvam na sanshaya. Beyond that, there is no doubt that if you focus on me, you will dwell on me forever. Verse 9th. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichhaptum dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya, O Arjuna, if you are not able to focus on me with focused attention, if you can't do that, then do abhyas, practice of meditation. Keep practicing of yoga. If you are not able to keep your mind steadily on me, then seek to attain me by the constant practice of yoga abhyasa. Verse 10th. Abhyas se api asamartha asi mat karma paramah bhava madartham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsasi. If you're not able to do even abhyasa, even that yoga practice you are not able to do, then what should you do? Orient all your actions towards me. Mat karma parama bhava. Your supreme goal is to do actions, karma, duty for me. Madartham, for me, api karmani. Your actions should be for me. Mat karma parama bhava. Kurvan siddhim. And then you will obtain the final siddhi, final accomplishments. You will obtain the moksha. You will obtain if you focus your efforts on me. If you're incapable even of practice, by intent on my work, even performing actions for my sake, you shall attain perfection. Verse 11th. Athaitad api ashaktah asi kartum madhyogam ashritah sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. If you're not able to do even that, then what should you do? You can just renounce all the fruits of your actions for me. If you can't do focusing on your mind, if you can't do yoga, if you can't do more proactive action, then just renounce all your consequences, fruits of your actions for me. Then you will still attain the final siddhi. Verse 12th. Now, this gradation, what is better than that, So that is now final summary of all these verses. Verse 12th, chapter 12th. Shreyaha hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma phalatyagam, tyagat shanti anantaram. So what is better than that? So what is Shreya hi jnanam abhyasat? Knowledge, supreme knowledge, spiritual knowledge is better than abhyas, the practice of yoga. Dhyanat dhyanam vishishate. Better than knowledge is meditation. Dhyanam is better than jnanat, knowledge. Dhyanat karma phalatyagam. Even better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. Karma phalatyagam is better than dhyanat, better than meditation. Even better than that, tyagat shanti anantaram. From tyag, from the renunciation, you will obtain the ultimate peace. Verse 13. Now, once you do all that, once you renounce the fruits of your action, what happens to you? What kind of qualities you must have, and you will practice and you will obtain the qualities. What are those qualities? Verse 13th, chapter 12th. Adveshtah sarva bhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamah nirankarah samadukha sukha kshami. What you become? You become adveshta, without any hatred. Sarvabhutana, for all beings in the universe. Maitraha, ultimate friendship. Karunaha, compassion. Nirmama, without your attachment of me, myself. Nirankara, no ego. Samadukha, and you become you practice equanimity. Your mind become full of equanimity and kshami, for forgiving of for everyone, indifferent to pain and pleasure, patient, free from attachment to possessions, friendly, free from egotism or ego, and one who hates no one. And finally, verse 14 for this time. Santushtah satatam yogi यतात्मा दृढ़ निश्चय मय्यर्पित मनोबुद्धि यो मद भक्त समय प्रिय. Now this assurance from Bhagavan Krishna in many of these verses in chapter 12, yo mad bhakta samay priya, whoever is my devotee, my bhakta, is favorite to me, is dear to me, is my beloved. Yo mad bhakta yah mad bhakta sah me priya. Whoever is my devotee is my beloved, my favorite. What are the other qualities he or she has? Santushtah, contentment. Satatam yogi, constantly practicing yoga. Yatatma dridh nishchaya, steadfast in the resolve. Mayyarpit manobudhi, and their mind and their intellect is constantly focused on me. The yogi who is always contented and balanced in mind, who is self-controlled, whose conviction is firm, whose mind and intellect are fixed on me, and who is devoted to me, is dear to. Shlok 15th, verse 15th. Yasman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate chayah, harsha marsh bhayah dvegaihi, yuktah yah sa cha me priyah. Yuktah, constantly united, constantly in yoga. Yah, whoever, cha sa me priya, that who is constantly united in me is my beloved, my favorite. Who has, what are the quality that person has? Yasman no dvijate loka. The world is not agitated or affected by him or her. Lokan na dvijate chaya. And the world cannot agitate this person, vice versa. That person is also beyond harsh, extreme happiness, amarsh, that is impatience or indignation, bhayah, fear, and udveg, any kind of agitation, distress, trembling, anxiety. All these cannot affect that person. Verse 16th. Anapekshah shuchihi daksha udasinah gata vyathaha sarvarambha parityagi yo mad bhaktah same priya. Once again, my devotee is my beloved, and that person has what qualities? Anapeksha, beyond any expectation, any wants. Shuchihi, pure. Daksha, capable, expert. Udasin, disinterested, indifferent. Gata vyatha, free from anxiety. Sarvarambha parityagi, beyond all kinds of undertakings in which you say that I am beginning this. No, my devotee says I am being involved by higher power, my destiny or my cosmic plan is involving me in such any project or anything that is being started through me. That kind of a higher understanding my devotee has. Verse 17th. Yah na rishyati, na dveshti, na shochati, na kankshati, shubha ashubha parityagi, bhaktiman yah sa me priya. Who is beloved for me? Bhaktiman, one who is completely devoted to me. And that person has what qualities? Yah na yashyati, not too happy, not too rejoicing, not too hateful, na shochati, not mourning all the time, na kankshati, not desiring anything all the time. Shubha ashubha parityagi, one who is agreeable and disagreeable and abandoning, one who has renounced good and evil. So beyond all, once again, that egoistic attachment to actions, that person has renounced forever. Verse 18th. Sama shatrau cha mitre cha tatha man apaman yoho sheet ushna sukha dukkheshu samah sang vivarjitah. That person is free from attachment. Sang is attachment. He's beyond that, equal to both. Free from all attachment, basically. Yeah. Practicing equanimity. And so equanimity in the form of Shita Ushna Sukha Dukkheshu, in heat or cold, pleasure, sukh or dukh, sorrow, equanimity. Tatha man apaman, in honor or insult, always equanimity. And Sama Shatro Chamitra, towards enemies and towards friends, equal behavior. Verse 19th. Tulya Ninda Stutihi Mauni, Santushtaha Yena Kenachit, Aniketaha Sthir Matihi, Bhaktiman Yaha me priyah narah. That person is dear to me because that person is always devoted to me. That person is indifferent to blame or praise, silent, mauni, tulya ninda stuti mauni, santushta, always contented with anything, whatever, santushta yena kenachit, with whatever that person is always contented, aniketa. That person considers the entire universe as his or her home, not attached to any single home, aniketa, beyond any home. Sthirmati, steady-minded. Sthir, mati, mind, sthir, steady. Verse 20, the last verse of this chapter 12th. Ye tu dharmyamritam idam yatha uktam paryupasate shraddhana mat parama bhaktaha te ativa me priya. Extremely beloved those devotees are who follow this dharma steadfastly, this immortal law. They honor this law, immortal law. They are endowed with faith. Yatha uktam paryupasate shraddhana. They are endowed with faith and devoted and intent on me as supreme. Mat parama. They consider me as supreme and they honor and they respect and they follow this eternal dharma. That completes chapter 12th and 2/3 of the Bhagavad Gita. We'll start chapter 13th after this next Sunday. Next Sunday we'll have the complete chapter 12, complete translation, and then we'll start chapter 13. Thank you.